What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are back with another Hot Toys figure unboxing and review video, and today we are taking a look at Hope Van Dyne, also known as the Wasp from the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. This is a figure that I don't want to say I've been too excited for, but this is the first time that I ever collect a Wasp figure, so I am pretty kind of thrilled to see what we're gonna get from this figure. Also, I do want to let you guys know I did purchase this figure off of Sideshow Collectibles, so if you guys are interested in purchasing the figure, I will include the link to their website on the description of the video, so that way you guys can go ahead and secure your own copy. Also, I want to apologize in advance if my voice sounds off. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit under the weather, so that's why my voice sounds a little bit deeper than usual. But at the end of the day, the show must go on, so I did want to go ahead and release this unboxing. To be honest, I planned it to release sooner than right now, but again, I've been a little bit under the weather. But thankfully, we are back and cannot wait to unbox this figure. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we get to the box design. So it's going to be pretty much the same design as the figure that we got previously from this movie, which is Kang. So to be honest with you, the color applications are amazing. I love the yellow and the blue and how good it looks on the box. So we get the name of the movie at the top. We get pretty much a kind of Quantumania kind of molecule logo right there in the middle with some images of the Wasp. So the molecule is kind of like in this 3D type of imagery. At the bottom of the figure, we get the name of the Wasp, and then once again, and I guess Hot Toys just doesn't seem to understand this, but we once again get that horrendous warning logo that just covers up pretty much, it seems like it covers up everything in the box, and that's going to be for the batteries. And again, I just don't understand why they can put it in the back. Here on the left, so we get pretty much that molecule logo going across at the top of the box, and then pretty much a honeycomb background with the name of the figure and a blue coloring. Again, the blue and the yellow match very, very well for this box personally. Warning, illegal information here at the back, and again the background, which is the honeycomb shape, which is again the same for Kang as well. So for Kang, it was green and purple. For the Wasp, it is blue and yellow. The right side and the left side are going to be pretty much exactly the same, so there is nothing really too different about it. So I would say the box itself looks good, except for that warning logo. It just looks horrendous on the box. Okay, so underneath the main cover, so we get pretty much the name of the figure and the name of the movie, and then a yellow see-through background, which I'll be honest, I don't mind it. I guess it's something different, but this is supposed to be also kind of like it's supposed to have some type of imagery, some type of creativity, and I really don't think it has it. For example, here on the right side, we just get a molecule logo, the name of the figure at the bottom, and just a yellow background. Same thing for the back, doesn't really come with too many things. We could have gotten some images from the Wasp or something, but except it's just this background. So I just think that it could have been a little bit more detail. But still in all, at least the main cover was pretty nice. So that would be it for the whole box design. Let's go ahead and take a look at the figure now, which I am very excited to take a look at. Okay, so now we have the plastic covering. So as you guys can see, we have the figure and also all of its accessories. So very excited to see the design of the suit and the materials that come with it. That's something that I'm really questioning myself to see how it looks. First impressions with the Wasp so far, honestly, this is a good figure, man. I really like how that suit looks, and the materials look really, really nice, honestly. Obviously, we'll take a look at other things a little bit later on. Whenever I did a release preview with this, I was very disappointed with the Hope head sculpt. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But as far as the figure in its own, it looks really, really good and better than I expected. So I would say off to a good start. So now that we've taken a look at the figure, we'll take a look at accessories. We'll take a look at the figure in detail. At the end, a side-by-side comparison or two. And then, of course, at the end, we'll do poses and final thoughts on the figure. Okay, we get to the accessories, so we do get a lot of small things that come with this figure. Not a lot of things, but I think it's enough for us to be able to have different options to pose the figure. So we first start off with the display base. So we get a regular hexagonal shaped display with the molecule logo, kind of like in this shiny type of coloring. It's a satin finish, so there's nothing too bright about it. The blue parts, it's translucent, so you guys can see the kind of like the the reflection of my lighting, and the same thing for the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania logo at the very bottom. You guys can see the name of the figure as well. And then it does come with a flight pole and a waist clamp or grabber pretty much. And I do like the fact that it comes with that, because it is going to give me an option to post the figure in a flying position. So not really any issues with this display base, nothing too spectacular, but I would say it's pretty good so far. And then we do get a Hope Van Dyne head sculpt, obviously played by Evangeline Lilly. And then we also get the Wasp head sculpt or helmet, if you guys want to call it that. I'll talk about more in detail about these two head sculpts, and I'll let you guys know what I really think about them. For now, you just need to know that it comes with them. We're going to get two options for the figure to be able to pose, which is again the Evangeline Lilly head sculpt and the Wasp helmet. And then we get these pieces of wings, so just know they're not made out of glass, they're made out of plastic. These to me are my favorite accessory of the whole figure. They look so amazing, and I cannot wait to put these onto the figure. So they do come with a kind of like a circular type of adjustable holder, I guess, if you guys want to call it that, where they do go install it into the back of the figure. And the good thing is that they are articulated, so I will be able to move these pieces all around. More on that a little bit later on. They kind of remind me of the mechanical arms for Spider-Man, either for the Tom Holland figure or also the figures from the Spider-Man 2 video game. So I am glad that it comes with that. And then these pieces are added on to the suit. So the one on the left, it's going to be pretty much kind of like the back of the figure. So that is supposed to go added once you add the wings onto her. So I really like this piece, because what it will do is that it's kind of like a little bit curvier and a little bit wider, so that way the wing pieces fit. And what it will do is that it won't basically, it'll make sure that it's not shown that she's got the wings connected. Pretty much it'll kind of cover it up. And then on the right side, that is supposed to be her helmet taken off pretty much on the back side whenever you do have the Hope Solo head sculpt install onto the figure. Okay, and then this is to me really cool. So we get small pieces, which is this rock stand, and then also a miniature figure of the Ant-Man with a translucent display base that just came off the figure right now. So we're gonna get two options with this Ant-Man figure. So we will either get it installed onto that display stand that will go install onto the wrist of the Wasp, more of that a little bit later on in the video, or you guys can install it onto this piece of rock to just have the figure on its own. So one thing that does worry me is that the figure is a little bit too fragile. So I feel like if you guys move the legs or push the legs a little bit too strong onto the rock piece, it could break. So just be careful onto that. But I do think it is a very cool accessory, and I love the pose of him running. So I feel like we're gonna have a lot of fun with this accessory personally. So it looks pretty cool. I would say, for me, between my favorite accessory is either this one or the wings. I'm kind of leaning towards the wings a little bit more. And then we do get 6 different hand pieces, including the ones that come with the figure. So nothing too special about these hand pieces. We get these 2 hands, which are kind of open in a kind of action poses, and then we get her closed fist, and also relaxed hands as well that came with the figure. What I do like is the paint applications of the gloves, and also the fact that we get motion and wrinkles to show movement with the hand pieces. I do feel like we could have gotten maybe some more hands to just do different poses, but I think with this is good enough, and I do like the paint applications of them. Again, I like the fact that we get either relaxed, closed fist, or action hands. So it should give us options to pretty much pose the figure. So this would be it for the accessories. Not a lot of things, but I do think that the things that come with the figure are pretty cool. Okay, everyone, so we get to the figure itself. So as I mentioned, whenever I unboxed it, to me, this figure is really good. I'm looking at the helmet right now. So to me, there's no question I'm going to pose her with the helmet on. The helmet is very nice. It's pretty much made out of plastic, and I love the color applications on it. The material is pretty nice. And, again, it's just a very nice look to it. I love how well it's connected onto the suit itself. There isn't kind of like a weird seam line in any type of way. Everything's well connected. Pretty much it seems seamless, basically. I really don't see kind of like a division that's too kind of, I would say too obvious. We can get a see-through look to the eyes of Hope, which it doesn't really look like her, but just know there is a head sculpt inside of it, and also there is an LED light up with these things, so that's why we had the warning sign on the box design for the battery. So it does turn on. The light up effect, it doesn't really turn on that bright, I would say. But it does make a small difference. So if I turn off my lights, you guys can see there is a light up effect, and it is somewhat bright, but not too bright as I thought it would have been. Either way, I would say that this isn't really needed in my personal opinion for this figure. But it's a cool effect, I would say, that it comes with. The good thing is that it's not too hard to access it. So to me, the helmet, it is really, really nice. But now that we've taken a look at the helmet, I do want to go ahead and take a look at the other option, which is the Hope head sculpt. And I want to give my thoughts on that because, again, to me, the helmet, it is a great look, but maybe not so much about the head sculpt for Hope. Okay, so we have the Hope head sculpt, obviously being portrayed by Evangeline Lilly. Whenever I did the release preview, I didn't think it was the greatest thing in the world. One thing that I do like is that the skin tone does match very well from the neck onto the head sculpt itself, and also the way that it is attached, it is very, very nice as well. Now, to the actual head sculpt. So, to me, there's some issues, some by Hot Toys, some by the creators of the movie. So one thing that I have an issue with Hot Toys is that I do think that they made her skin a little bit too baggy, and it makes her look older than what she actually is. Another thing too is that her expression, there is no expression. It's basically a blank stare. There isn't any type of movement, and it doesn't even matter if I do the rotating eyes. So right here, I'm changing the rotating eyes to the right or left. Obviously, this isn't the greatest pose in the world, right? But either way, it doesn't matter if you switch out the rotating eyes. Her expression is so dead. There really isn't anything. There isn't a smile, no action, no type of angry type of pose. So that's, to me, where Hot Toys fails. But now the hair piece is very nicely created. I do think they did a good job with the hair piece on its own as far as replicating it how it was in the movie. But me personally, and I mean this with all due respect, I just didn't like Evangeline with short hair, and I say that with all due respect. I think Evangeline is a very beautiful actress. I really liked her a lot with long hair, but to me, the short hair look was really, really weird. I'm not sure if at the time of filming the movie, maybe she was doing another movie where she needed short hair, but I just thought it was a weird look. Now, as far as the rest of the suit, to me, it is amazing. You guys know I'm not the greatest when it comes to talking about the materials and things like that, but just know that the suit in itself, the whole piece, is absolutely amazing. There really isn't any seam lines, only in the wrist area, but see the parts that I'm touching here, so the black parts that are kind of shiny are all made out of kind of like this rubbery plastic. Same thing with the boots and the whole material. It's very hard, and what I like is that the figure is very well put together. Right here, my concern about that piece is that maybe the ankles won't be too articulated like other figures, but still in all, the look to it is very, very nice, and I really don't have any issues with it. The knee braces, she also has shoulder braces. They're very well connected onto the figure, and there's not that much of a loose movement with the pieces, so I really like that a lot. And then the paint application, same thing, man. The yellow stands out so well, and the blue is a very nice combination. Now, this is my first ever Wasp figure, so I haven't ever gotten, a previous one, so I really can't compare it with previous Wasp figures, but what I can say is that this is a very, very nice look to her. And I really like how it looks personally. It's just a very, very nice suit. So far, my only complaint is the head sculpt, and that's about it. But everything else, it's a very, very nice look to her suit. In all honesty, one of the best Marvel figures I've ever gotten because, and again, the fact that I'm going to get that option to go ahead and pose it with the helmet and avoiding that head sculpt is even better for me. So I did want to go ahead and add the wings to her to see how she looks. So we've added the wings. I didn't want to put that back part on yet, just so that I can show you guys how it looks. So one thing that I really love about these wings, and I mentioned this whenever we were talking about the accessories, is the fact that those ball joints are fully articulated, so I can move these wings anywhere, any way I want to. They're very easily attached, and it's going to give me a lot of options to pose the figure. So to me, no question, the wings are my favorite part of this whole figure. It just gives the figure a big, a whole pretty much a different dimension, and it's a very nice accessory to it. And then, as I mentioned before, that back part is going to be very nice because, again, if I just put it in, you guys can't really see the wings being installed. So yes, you can see it from the sides, but still, it's a pretty nice cover up compared to other figures where we don't get any type of cover up. So for example, the Spider-Man figures, we don't get any type of cover up whatsoever. So to me, the Wasp does have that, and that is a very nice thing to add on. So honestly, guys, as far as the suit itself, not including the head sculpt, to me, this is a perfect figure in my personal opinion. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to show you guys, and I mentioned this before, is the Ant-Man small figure that goes installed onto the wrist. So this is pretty easy. So that little stand right there goes inserted onto the wrist area of the Wasps. The good thing is that it's an easy connection, so nothing feels too tight, and it doesn't feel like anything's going to break. So I think this is a very nice connection. And as I mentioned before, it is a very, very nice accessory to have on. I feel like I'll have at least some options to pose the figure with that little display, that little figurine for Ant-Man itself. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys that. And then I did want to also go ahead and touch on the articulations of the figure. So with the ankle area, it does worry me a little bit. So because of how tight that the pants are, I would say the articulations aren't too strong. The feet do swivel back and forth and to the right and left, but not as much as other figures because of how tight the pants are. So again, the articulations are okay, but I wouldn't say they're great with the ankle area. Now the legs, to me, they're fine. They stretch out very well. And as you guys can see, the suit is not going to get damaged in any way. It rolls up a little bit, but not enough to damage it. The knees pretty much bend to the front very nicely. No issues whatsoever. And then, again, they swivel left and right without any issue. I think it's perfectly fine. And then on the back, it does go all the way until that point. So I think that's pretty good itself. With the waist, same thing. So the waist pretty much swivels left and right pretty easily. It goes to the front nicely as well, to the back even further. And yeah, pretty much the waist is pretty nice as well. It moves to the left and right, I would say pretty nicely, not a lot, but pretty nicely enough to pose the figure. The arms, same thing. They flex very nicely. It goes to the back all the way. Just watch out with that brace for the shoulder and make sure it doesn't break. To the front, same thing. Goes pretty high. From the elbow, from the shoulders, it does swivel right and left without any issues. And in the elbow, it does bend pretty easily as well. And as I mentioned before, I don't think we're going to really have any issues with the suit being damaged in any way. The helmet is installed via a ball joint, so it does turn around completely. The helmet does go up and down pretty easily. It does go to the sides pretty easily as well. So to me, the articulations are pretty nice for this figure. My only issue would be with the ankles because of how tight that space is. But I would say it's pretty good. No issues with it whatsoever, in my personal opinion. Okay, everyone. So we get to a side-by-side comparison. So I only have one comparison, and that's with Kang the Conqueror himself, which obviously was the first figure that I received for this movie specifically. So again, I don't own any previous Ant-Man figures or the Wasp figures, so I didn't just want to bring any random Marvel character to do a side-by-side comparison. So I brought out Kang. One thing that makes me happy doing this side-by-side is how taller Kang is compared to the Wasps, and it should be that way. So that is a good thing itself. To me, Kang is very similar to the Wasp. So a phenomenal figure, but just kind of like not that great of a head sculpt. And the same thing for the Wasps. To me, the Wasp is also a great figure. In all honesty, she might be a better quality of a figure than the Kang. Not a cooler figure, but just better quality. But again, it's just that the head sculpt is what prevents me from saying it's a perfect figure. Another thing that I really don't understand, again, I'm happy to have these two figures, and I should be getting Ant-Man soon. But how in the world do we only get these three figures for the movie? We didn't get Cassie, which I thought should have been a must, and she was a pretty important character throughout the movie, and we never gotten any Cassies before, so why not do a figure for her? And then also, I thought that they had released a MODOK figure as well. I think they announced it, but never really released it, so I'm a little bit disappointed that they never released MODOK or Cassie. I thought it would have been a nice collection. And as I always like to say, I know the movie wasn't the greatest, and obviously Kang is no longer part of the MCU because of obvious reasons, which I won't mention. But still, as I always like to say, just because a movie isn't the greatest doesn't mean the figures are not. To me, both of these figures are completely amazing. And I would think the same thing's going to be for Ant-Man, except for the head sculpt as well. So it seems like all three figures have the same thing going on pretty much. Okay, everyone, so to finish off the video, just a couple of posts and my final thoughts on the Wasp herself. So, quickly, I want to apologize. I know the video wasn't the greatest. My voice just kept going off and on. Again, I'm under the weather right now. I'm battling with the flu. So, you know, I'll be honest, I had planned to release this video sooner, but I was not feeling my greatest, but now I'm feeling a little bit better, and to me, the show must go on, and I've been wanting to release this figure unboxing, so, you know, for a while now, so I appreciate you guys, for those of you guys who watch, and I appreciate your patience, but just wanted to get to the bottom of you know, wanted to pretty much reach a final conclusion with this figure. So, as I mentioned before, to me, the head sculpt for Evangeline Lilly, I would say it's average. It's not a horrible head sculpt, but not a good one either. But to me, if you take away the head sculpt, in all honesty, this is a perfect figure. I love everything about it. The wings, the suit, the helmet, the color applications, everything about it, the articulations. To me, this is a really, really good figure. Now, obviously, the Wasp isn't the most, you know, entertaining character ever, you know. Obviously, I know that she's an important character of her own. Obviously, she's been in plenty of movies. She was in Endgame as well, so she's got her importance to her. But obviously, we know she's not one of these big time characters. But either way, the quality of the figure is very, very nice, and I really like this figure a lot. And I'm very happy that I collected it. The only complaint that I have with Hot Toys is that how is it that we don't get Cassie or MODOK specifically for this movie? So just a little bit disappointed on that. But as far as the figure itself, to me, it is a really good figure, except for the head sculpt. So I should be getting Ant-Man soon, so make sure to stay tuned in whenever that unboxing drops, and I'll let you guys know which is the best figure of the whole collection itself. I'm a little bit worried about that Ant-Man figure because of the head sculpt, but I'm willing to wait and see how that figure looks once I get it in person. So, as always, guys, I want to thank you for supporting the channel. Make sure to leave a comment and let me know what you guys think about this figure specifically. Reminder that I am on Instagram, TikTok. The links to that are on the description of the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and join for more figure unboxings and more figure previews. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to this unboxing for the Wasps, and I will see you next time.